Hello there guys, welcome back to Planet Coaster. It's been quite a few months actually. Yeah, I've been away doing things in my personal life. I've been working quite a lot, doing a proper job, I guess is the best way to say it. But yes, I've been away doing things like that. So I wanted to get back into playing Planet Coaster because I missed playing it and I missed uploading videos. Well, I say I miss playing it, but I've been playing it the whole time I've been away anyway. So yeah. So this is a park entrance that I'm building, and weirdly enough I decided to build the frame of the building as well. I'm not sure why, because you don't really need to, but I thought I would anyway. I wanted to go into quite a bit of detail in this kind of let's build. I'm going to call it a let's build. We'll go back with that kind of term. So yeah, I'm just putting in some foundations for it, putting in the framework of the actual building, and then resting some roofs on top of it. There is a bit of this video that I actually did cut out because I spent a lot of time trying to get, or I should say trying to build a roof that I really didn't need to build. Yeah, I was using these wood kind of, what's the name for them? Planks or wood kind of battens to make a kind of weirdly shaped roof, because obviously the roof pieces we have in the game aren't, I wouldn't say, they're kind of like, you're kind of limited with the way that you can use them, especially because the roof pieces are aligned to the grid, so you don't get use of the 3D gizmo. So it's a bit of a pain, but never mind. I decided I'd build this kind of, I don't really know what it is, but I've seen it on kind of old kind of period buildings, and I guess like I've seen it on kind of like Viking style things, and that was kind of the vibe that I ended up weirdly going with whilst building this entrance. I mean, the park itself isn't going to be Viking. I don't know why I went with that kind of vibe in the end, but as you can see, the kind of log, I don't even know what to call them. They're kind of like weird, like, I say baton, but they're not batons, are they? It's kind of like detailing anyway, so I thought I'd put these in and they look kind of cool. And I should have put some more kind of down the sides, but I didn't. Maybe I'll go back and add that in later, but as for now, it will be fine. So I'm using the limestone walls here. I really like the colour of these. I changed them to a kind of lighter yellow, or kind of more of a cream. And I'm trying to add in more detail to this kind of ridiculous roof. It doesn't go too well in the end, and I just scrap it and go, no thank you, I don't want to do that anymore. So yeah, more of this kind of brick detailing. I think I moved those a bit more in the end. I've got people messaging me on Steam. I should have got Steam to be quiet. Why is it still on? I don't know how to mute it. I'm just going to exit out of it. Not that you can see me doing that. So yeah, here, this is where I tried to do the weird roof thing, and then I tried to put these in first, and then realised that I couldn't get anything to align properly. And then weirdly tried to rotate it stupidly. It just didn't work very well. It took me ages to try and work together a roof, and then it just, as you can see, it just doesn't look right. Yeah. I don't know why I try and do these kind of ridiculous things. And then I found it easier just to position the roof like that. And then I'll completely scrap all of this soon. I don't know why I did it. Either way, I thought it looked kind of cool at the time. You can kind of see the process that I'm going with it. I kind of just copied these wooden parts to make the roof, and then I was going to maybe try and put something over the top of it. But it just ended up being way too much work, and it didn't look as good as I wanted it to look in the end. So we gave up on that. And here we go, building the actual kind of side entrances. So I kind of wanted this to look as if it was kind of surrounding the plaza, the entrance. As you can see later, I'll put in some ticket booths and kind of food outlets, that kind of thing. Yeah, so I did this kind of weird triangle wall on the side of it. I'm not sure what my kind of process for this was, but I kind of liked it. And then I was going to try and curve these, and then just decided against that because it looked terrible. So a lot of this is kind of just experimentation, playing around with the Planet Coaster tools, adding in some different things. And then I added this kind of like roof piece, and I really kind of like the look of it. I add in loads of them, and it adds in this kind of cool cylindrical sphere thing. Trying to position it properly now. Looks weird, but there we go. Pop that in, duplicate it over the other side, and position it. And this is basically the final shape for the building. Just adding in some kind of final detailing. Knowing me, I'll probably come back and do some more work on it. I think I need to do more work on the other side of it as well, because I didn't really touch that, but that's going to be more for the next part when I do the kind of main street. If I even do a traditional main street today, I might just go straight into a kind of ride area thing. Yeah, I like that kind of idea of just going straight into the park and bam, there's all the rides in front of you. Adding in the new paths using the cool plaza tool. A lot of people kind of have trouble with the paths. They can be a bit finicky at times, but I don't really have too much trouble with them. They seem to work kind of alright for me. I think it just becomes a kind of natural, like, you kind of work out how to use it after playing with it for so long. So it took me a while to do that other side, but you can pretty much get it. Adding in the grass areas in the middle where the paths aren't, and then adding in a ton of topiary bushes. These hedges are pretty much my favourite thing to outline and block out pathways. So I will end up overusing these. Trust me, they're going to be everywhere by the end of it. But they give the park a kind of nice traditional kind of feel. Then I wanted to add in a kind of centerpiece to this area, so I put in some kind of 1 meter high walls, some kind of cornices on the sides and on the top, and then some, what are they called? Yeah, kind of pillars, some kind of pillar footers. And then added in a nice fence to go around the side of it. And then I'm going to fill in the area with bushes and things. So, the park name I'm going with is Amber Acres. It is a park name that I've used for a few different parks I've made before, but this, I think the idea of the park I wanted to go with was a very kind of traditional family-ran kind of amusement park, or kind of like country park. So it wouldn't be very ride, as in like big roller coaster heavy. It'd be very kind of traditional rides. A bit like the career mode level, which is Silversmith Manor, which is where like a kind of rich group of people have their theme park, I should say. And they only let you use kind of traditional rides like carousel, but then as you unlock more rides, it goes kind of less traditional. There's not actually that many rides in the game yet, or still, or whichever way you want to go with. I definitely think there's room for improvement with more rides, but at the moment it's kind of nice. Like, I'm not going to run out of rides anytime soon. This is where I came back in. And then I figured out a new kind of recording technique that I saw that Lady Designer uses. Where she uses Cheat Engine to slow down her game by like 10 times or something, and then she speeds it up, but it gives it a kind of much smoother flow. So I'm going to be using this technique from now on to make the videos smoother, because you'll probably see the drastic difference. So yeah, trying to make a nice fence to go around the area, but it doesn't look great in the end. So I do a new one, and then I readjust the paths to actually follow what I wanted it to do. But I like using this technique where you put an object on the grid down, and then you start building the fence off of it. So when you move that building, it will always be on the grid, which is kind of cool. Trying to find, these shapes are amazing. They're so good for coming up with just little ideas, and I think I'm going to try and use them a little bit more. We'll try and find some kind of excuses for using them. So yeah, just positioning the fence. It ends up looking quite nice in the end, and as you can see, like, the paths can be kind of fiddly. I was trying to find out the best way to do this, then figured out the best way to just start the path from the other side, and then it would just line up better. So as you can see, it just works so much easier when you do it like that. Just connecting up the paths back to how I kind of wanted them, or at least to fit around the bushes that I've done. Some of the paths were kind of fiddly, but I got it in the end. That one's not quite symmetrical, but pretend you just didn't see it. That'll help. So yeah, that's quite nice. I quite like the look of it. I put in some more kind of foliage and some kind of trees and stuff around it to make it look a bit busier. Put some palm trees in, doing some kind of terraforming. I find using small brushes for detailing is a really good technique in this game, because some of the brushes are harder to cover over with terrain paints, so they leave this kind of cool kind of, I'd say, kind of like blotchiness or imperfections in the ground. Doing some terrain raising just to kind of make it not look so flat. Not that you're really going to see much of it, but anyway, but once I filled it in with plants, you don't really see the hills and the mountains, but I'm not the biggest fan of a completely flat workspace, so I wanted to add some kind of irregularity in the terrain. So, and then I'm building these. These are kind of the ticket booths, but I still need to add some signs to them. I didn't do that at the time. It's just, I've called them ticket booths, but they've got things like chief beef in them, information booths, kind of things like that. I don't know if guests will actually use them though, because they are positioned on before the turnstiles. So that will be a test to see whether they will actually use them or not. I'm of the opinion that they probably won't. So yeah, putting some more of those kind of cool window things. They kind of look like devil horns from here. How did I not see that before? Never mind. Yeah, trying to put in this more wood. I think I just like the idea of detailing the buildings just more than they even need to be, and using the kind of scenery items that they've given us for different things. I don't like the idea of just using all the scenery items for the same thing, because then everybody's building is going to look the same. You're going to get no variation between anything. So yeah, you can see me positioning them now into different areas, putting some different shops in, and then I just duplicate some of the shops. But I don't know if the guests will use them. They might use them on the exit of the park, which is kind of good because some of them have merchandise, but then we're not going to see the guests using balloons and stuff, which was a new addition actually, not that long ago. I think, well, was it before release, or I can't remember whether it was before release now, whether they added the balloon stall in it. I don't know. Meh. Yeah. I think I went off for a while then. I think I went off to help my partner with something and forgot to pause the game and stop recording. But, oh well. Just adding in some detailing of some stones, just to add in some more foliage around this place. And then I think I finish up by just adding a load of kind of benches, park benches, and all of the foliage and landscaping around the area. So, yeah. I think that's the kind of idea and the gist that I went with in the end. So, yeah, I think my kind of idea now for this is to have this as the entrance to the park, and then, well, obviously the entrance, but as you walk through, I think you're going to go into a main area. So you walk in and there'll be, I think maybe the Forge ride would be quite a nice ride to have just set up in the middle here. So you walk through and bam, straight in your face is one of the biggest rides in the park. Just to give that kind of cool look. But I'll obviously do a kind of nice skin around it. Maybe kind of make it kind of nice and vintage and kind of old school to fit in. Something traditional still. Maybe an old school ride like a Huss top spin or something. That's one of the rides in the game. Maybe put that one in. I think that would be cool. So you walk in and bam, it's straight in your face. kind of sync up, well, I won't be able to sync them up, but I'll be able to add in some kind of special effects like the water fountains and stuff like that. And then maybe just at the bottom of the main street have a really nice big traditional wooden coaster with lots of airtime, maybe like a nice out and back speedy kind of low turns and like terrain hugging. So yeah, I think next episode we'll do a load of terraforming and things like that, just to break up the kind of differences in the park. So just adding in all the terrain and everything like that. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye!